Wow, Campfire Convos. It's been so long since I had one of these. Yeah, I apologize. I've been gone. I've been. There's been a lot going on, but what's up, everyone? It's good to see everyone's faces around the campfire. Everyone's beautiful faces out there. I'm glad to see everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's life is on the up and up. And if you're facing challenges, I hope those challenges are making you better. I hope you are learning from um, the the things that you consider failures in your life. Um, and remember my theory, or I guess you could call it a theory, or my motto: there's no failures in life. There's only lessons. And so, as long as you are learning from the things you're going through, you are being made better. You are becoming a better person. And so, as we keep striving to become the best versions of ourselves, sometimes those failures and those lessons, those hard things that we got to go through are necessary. But yeah, I'm here. It's 2025, and the year has been completely unexpected. Like everything that's been happening, I could have never imagined would happen. But I started the year off with um, only had one New Year's resolution, and that was to surrender to the flow of life this year. And so it turns out to be a little bit prophetic because that's exactly what I've had to do is just surrender to the flow of life, starting off with the fires, starting off with we thought we were going to be moving to one place that didn't work, and with all the fires in Los Angeles, we ended up in this hotel, which I'm still at in this hotel months later, and so still haven't found a new place, and really just being at a point where it's like, okay, well, there must be a reason why God has us here at this hotel. And sure enough, um, me, my wife, and my two kids, Jada and Jeremy, were here and kind of just growing and starting to get closer together as a family. The hotel room is kind of snug. There's two beds, obviously, but everyone's used to having their privacy, their own rooms, their own bathrooms, and everything. And so having to really just navigate people's uh, space and having more conversations, which has been helping us to open up and talk about things that we hadn't been discussing with our kids and vice versa. And with my music, without having access to my studio and not being able to get into my music or record, it's kind of pushed me to re not even rediscover, but to discover a new passion with this uh, my wealth journey. And so, like a few years ago, I had started getting into the stock market, and I had kind of been off and on, for the past couple years. But then I wanted to get serious about it. I paid $6,000 to a mentor to really dive deep and start learning, how to play the stock market, and how to trade options. And it turns out I really have a knack for it. As a Virgo man, I feel like a lot of the characteristics and traits that I have end up being perfect for the stock market. Like I'm a very patient person. I'm very detail oriented, you know, um, and I'm a quick learner. And once I understand a concept, I got it. I can teach it at that point. It just needs to click for me. And I don't know, I finally found someone. His name is Oliver Velez. If you look him up on YouTube, if anyone's looking to learn the stock market, I'm going to be teaching everything I know. But a lot of it, a lot of my style, my trading strategy and my trading style came from, um, there's three people that I follow, mostly four, really, but um, out of the four, Oliver Velez to me is by far the best teacher, and he got me right with trading options. And so, um, yeah, every day now I wake up, I jump in the stock market, and the goal is to build income through short-term trades and to build wealth through long-term investing, and to leave something here for my kids. You know, at some point I realized that I had to get out of the rat race. This was back in 2021. I've always known that the 9 to 5 wasn't for me, but I didn't think I had really that many other options. Um, I didn't graduate from college. I did go to school. I had a full ride scholarship, but I ended up getting married, and having a kid in college. Um, and I ended up dropping out of school. Actually, I got kicked out of my first school because that's a long story. But then I went back to school, but then I stopped so that I could just go to work and try to support my family. Anyway, life kind of took a circuitous route to where I'm at now, because after I started having kids, I really just kind of got trapped in that 9 to 5 rut. And if anyone knows my story, in 2021, I went through the darkest depression of my life, because I really felt like, as a creative and as an artist and as a person who loves the freedom and flexibility to be able to be out in nature and all of these things, the 9 to 5 was extremely stifling, overwhelmingly so, to the point where um, I just I've never been able to keep a job for more than a year. You know, it's like I get bored really easily. I hate being tethered to a desk. I hate being indoors all day. I hate not having control over my free time. You know, I hate having to spend 40 hours a week, working to make someone else rich. And I don't know, it just seems like you never really get anywhere fast. And when you're working the 9 to 5 route, it's just like you're trapped in this rat race of like, I'm just going to try to save to retirement, and hopefully one day when I'm like 65, maybe I'll have some money to retire on. And I didn't see that life for me. um I don't believe that that is the way life is supposed to be lived. I believe you're supposed to be happy. I believe you're supposed to have control of your own free time. And as I'm starting to understand it now, the true measure of wealth is how much control a person has over their time. Time is our biggest resource. And so when I moved to LA, I moved here to chase my dreams, because I'm like, at least I'm going to do something I love if I'm going to have to work. And that was cool for a while. I spent 4 years not in the 9 to 5 world, just pursuing my music career, and I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of success. But as I was touring, I started realizing that my time still isn't mine. Even though I'm doing something I love, I'm having to, be a part of the tour schedule. I'm having to be gone, you know, 20 out of 25 days, 25 out of 30 days. And it's like I'm missing birthdays and holidays, all the celebrations in my family. I was missing Thanksgiving and Christmas. And, I'm a family man. And it was hard to be away from my kids, my wife, for those long stretches of time, on the tour bus. Even though you're having a lot of fun, you're meeting celebrities, you're performing on stages all around the world. But something about that time aspect, And so when I stopped touring, I made the decision that I didn't want to go on any more tours. And I sat down with the wife, and we were trying to figure out what can we do to start our own business so that we have control over our time. But sometimes even when you start a business, it still takes up a lot of your time, especially with small businesses. Sometimes that could be 15, 18 hours a day on that grind. So I'm like, there's got to be a better way. And when I found the stock market, I found freedom. So now my work day is only 20 minutes long, 20 to 30 minutes at most. I wake up, I trade the open, I make my money in 20, 30 minutes, and I take my profits, and I'm done with work for the day. Now the rest of the day is mine. And I can go to the park, I can go on a walk, I can go to the beach, I can go meditate, I can lay in the sun, you know what I mean? We can go and, spend our day however we choose, because we've already accomplished our work for the day. And that, to me, is what wealth is all about. And so I'm on a journey to create a lifestyle that we want to have, that also allows us to have the freedom of being able to have our flexible time schedule, and create enough wealth not only to pass down to the generations in my family, but to help the thousands and millions of people that are struggling in the world. I do have aspirations to be a philanthropist. I want to help the homeless. I want to help the world become more sustainable and green. These are just some of the things that I've been working on during this time. And so one of the things that has become a key driver for me is helping others to achieve financial literacy. So while I haven't been doing a lot of these campfire convos lately, it's because I've been just busy, man. I've been reading. I've been reading so much lately, like hundreds of pages per day, reading book after book of wealth management, wealth creation, the psychology of money, and understanding the stock market, understanding investment, what makes a wise investment, what is good debt versus bad debt, and just being in the place where I made up my mind. I want to learn everything there is to know about money and about wealth. You know what I mean, so that I can set my family up for future, and so I can help as many people as I can to do the same. And so that's what we've been on. We created a company called the 99 Club. You may have heard of it if you're following my page. We're just getting started, but by the next 3 months, you're going to see massive growth the way that we're intending to lay courses out for everyone. We're going to have a website. I'm working on to make sure that everybody can have access to these courses and go through them on their own time. And we're going to break down everything from, the difference between liabilities and assets, all the way up to how to trade options. How the wealthiest 1% among us, how they continue to get wealthier. What tax strategies they use, and taxes are, tax strategies are some of the biggest tools we have in our bag. If you can understand the tax code and how to leverage it to your advantage, the amount that you achieve in tax savings alone is really, it's really money earned in a way, because it's like, Uncle Sam is going to take every penny they can get, but there's loopholes that are already built into the system that favor those who are out creating jobs for people, those who are out, bringing financial education to the world, those who are out starting businesses and investing in real estate. There's a lot of loopholes in the tax code for those people, because they're helping build the infrastructure, they're helping get people working, they're helping the economy to run. And so when people say that the rich are not getting taxed their fair share, they really don't understand how the economy works, because these wealthy 1%, although they get to live a lavish lifestyle if they so choose, but they're also the same people that are building these companies that people can work at. They're buying and building the real estate that people can live at. And so they are the reason why people have jobs and places to live. And so why wouldn't the IRS give them tax breaks for all the things that they're doing to help stimulate the economy? And yeah, you have some people that are greedy, but overall, it doesn't help us to sit around and critique people that have millions of dollars, because those same tax loopholes we can take advantage of too. Those same wealth growth strategies we can take advantage of too. And the same tax strategies, all the things that the wealthy are doing, those are things that we can do as well. And we don't have to be first. We don't have to have money passed down to us. We can be first generation millionaires, and that's what I plan to be. And so we have to get out of a scarcity mindset. We have to learn how to manage our money. We have to learn how to not spend all our money on liabilities that are going to take more money out of our pocket, and start learning how to invest in things that are going to put money in our pocket. We have to learn how to invest in the stock market, and how to outpace inflation. We have to learn how to increase our wealth by creating opportunities just from our creativity. You know what I mean? And those opportunities are out there, but the realm of possibilities that each person has is only as big as the amount of knowledge you have. And so financial literacy is the key to everything. And that's why I want to bring financial literacy to the world, to the 99% of us that don't have that wealth to help us learn how we can turn the tables on our own situation. You know what I mean? Because we have to take our power back. You know, and this is not even just about money. I'm starting to see like the stock market and finance building is really just a microcosm of life. You know, when you gamble on life, you gamble with your money. You know, when you're undisciplined in life, you're undisciplined, you know, with your money. And the type of person you are will always be highlighted with money, you know. And not only that, but the changes that we need to make as a people, it's not only financial based. Those are the same changes that we need to make internally. You know, becoming more disciplined, becoming more knowledgeable. This stuff helps us, and learning how to give, learning learning how to operate in your most authentic state. You know, because uh, when you're really honest with yourself, it opens doors for you to start finding a different route. Like if the route you're going, the route that you're on is making you miserable, if you're not happy, if you are, you know, spending a lot of your time anxious because you don't know about if you have job security or, you know, those type of things, it's like, I don't know, I feel like it kind of weighs on your conscience, you know, to be able to live a life where you can be free to wake up, do what you feel, you know, follow your most authentic energy, and wherever that leads, without having to worry about bills, you know, yeah, that's a dream. So, but yeah, we are in a time of life where there's a lot of opposition that we're seeing publicly towards the well-being of people and human rights, civil rights, you know, rights for women. A lot of these things are under attack right before our very eyes. And so now is the time where all of us need to come together and band together in love. For love is the greatest force in the universe, and love will always win in the end. And so, um, yeah, it's time for love. It's time for awakening. It is time for us to really untether and start learning how to love ourselves, learning who we are as individuals. When you learn how to love yourself, you can learn how to love others. You know, when we learn how to tap into the power of love, the frequency that we tap into, we become more powerful. You know, and I just love where I am as a person. You know, I love the things that I'm going through. I'm starting to look at everything as a life lesson. You know, what am I supposed to learn from this? How can I grow from this? And a lot of it is about giving yourself grace. You know, the things that you've been through in life, you can only be where you are. Sometimes you don't make what you feel was the best decision in a scenario, but excuse me. A lot of times, excuse me. A lot of times, the decisions that we make are the only decision that we could have made at that time. You know, based off of who we are, based off of who we were, and the information that we had available to us, based off of our emotional state, based off of the growth and maturity level that we were at. You know, it's like you can't beat yourself up for making a decision that you made when you did the best that you could. You know, and as you grow, you just kind of look back. You know, a lot of growth is from looking back over situations, and then you understand how to be better in the next, you know, the next time it comes around. But you have to experience something first, you know, and experience is the best teacher. So maybe you might have to fail at something first before you really realize how to approach it. And which brings me to my parkour journey. So if you've been watching my page, you probably know, like, so I started my parkour journey about 2 weeks ago. Well, I've been interested in it for years. I've been watching it for years, and I always am like a crazy person. I was a crazy kid, you know. I did a lot of crazy stuff. I used to jump off of roofs and out of moving vehicles, and I used to jump on moving trains and all kind of stuff. So I'm kind of like death defying. I have a pretty large tolerance for risk. I'm not afraid of heights or anything like that, and so that was my childhood. But as I, you know, when you get older, you kind of cool it on a lot of that. But I think some of that is conditioning. You know, we've been conditioned by society to stop playing. You know, to stop being active, to stop, swinging on monkey bars and jumping off of stuff. And people say it's because you get older and your bones get brittle, but I think it's the other way around. I think that people stop moving first. They stop playing. They start becoming more sedentary. They start sitting at a job for 8 hours a day, which is unnatural to me. It's just unnatural. Humans, if you think about historically, humans are meant to be out and about. We're animals too. We're supposed to be out and about in forests and out hunting and gathering and creating fires and swimming and being in waterfalls and being in the sun, where we're getting loads of vitamin D, and the health benefits of being out in nature and out in sunlight are crazy. And now that we're spending most of the time inside either a house or an office building, the majority of our day is spent indoors. We're sealed in these walls, these brick walls, these wooden walls, or whatever the walls are made out of. We're getting very little access to sunlight, and even when we do, we're not really being conscious about it. We're just kind of like on our way somewhere else, and we don't sit and appreciate, sunlight. We don't stop and meditate in the sun. Like we're just, you know, always running, you know, from one place to another place. And even when we're in bed at night, we're still on our devices. You know what I mean? It's like the mind is just so overloaded with stuff that's going on, and we're not getting the proper amount of nutrition. And even if you eat right, but if you're not being outdoors, you're not, exercising, it's like your body, I still feel like, historically speaking, being inside is a relatively recent happening for humanity. I think outdoors is our natural state. And so I try to spend as much time outdoors as possible, and I never get sick. I've been feeling stronger. I've been feeling younger. I do feel like the fountain of youth is to get outside, and to move your body, you know what I mean, to get your blood flowing, to get your muscles. I read somewhere that your body gets better at whatever you practice. So if you practice sitting down all day, guess what? Your body's gonna start, your spine is gonna start fusing together. Like if you hunched over, like you're gonna end up getting old faster than you're supposed to. I don't think 60 should be old. 70 shouldn't be old. 80 shouldn't be old. You know what I mean? Like, we should still be moving. We should still be spry. We should still be flexible. We should still be agile. We should still be able to balance. We should still have our cognitive capabilities. So when you're compounding not eating right with not getting enough exercise and not getting outdoors enough, man, the air is so much fresher outdoors. You can combat a lot of sickness just from being outdoors. Trust me, I know. I don't get sick, and I'm always around trees. And where do you think the freshest sources of oxygen are coming from? It's coming from these plants and these trees. And when you're connecting with nature and connecting with animals, you just feel alive in a different way. You realize that we're all a part of this big ecosystem. We're all a part of this planet, and the things that are going on in life, they're not as important as sometimes we make them out to be, because we get caught up on a lot of temporary things. When you tap into your soul, you tap into nature, these trees, for example, a lot of these trees have been here for hundreds of years. They've seen it all, been through it all, harsh weather conditions, they're still standing. There's a lot of strength that I derive from trees. There's energy there, there's synergy when I'm around a tree. If I'm hugging a tree or leaning on it, or just leaning up against it while I meditate, I try to just imagine the energy of the tree, being shared with me, and the energy of nature, and I feel a difference. I just feel like if everybody could get outdoors more, And I mean, it's kind of like brings me back to the wealth journey, because the wealth journey, as we get our money up, we get our financial literacy up, we get our money up, that gives us the freedom to really be outdoors more, because we don't have to sit at someone's job, you know, wasting our life away. The other thing is, the people that are paying you to work are paying you in dollars, and the dollar is losing its value so fast now. Like, if you look at the charts, the dollar is losing its value year after year after year. And with inflation going up, it's crazy how the purchasing power of the dollar is eroding right before our very eyes. And so we're getting paid with something that's losing its value. And so that means your time is becoming less and less valuable, and you're spending more of your time working for somebody who doesn't value it, and even if they do, they can't show you how much they value it, because they're paying you in literal eroding fiat currency. And so it would behoove us to get out of the rat race, and we're going to do that by investing in the stock market, investing in commodities, investing in things that appreciate and value over time, learning our tax strategies, learning good debt versus bad debt, learning how to use our assets as collateral to take loans against them tax-free, and using those loans to cover our expenses and to reinvest into more assets, so that we can build a wealth-generating machine that will compound over time way quicker than working ever could, than retirement or 401k ever could, than a high-yield savings account ever could. And so the goal is to have holistic wealth. Is a term that I coined. I've never heard anybody say it, but I'm sure somebody has. But I thought of it on my own. I didn't get it from anywhere. Holistic wealth. So it's being wealthy in all areas of life, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, and whatever else you want to add to that list. Is being whole, is being healthy, is being wealthy in all those areas. And that's the goal. And so it may seem like I'm all over the place, but really, I reserve the right to do that, and I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to wake up and go wherever the energy leads me. And so, today my energy was leading me to Campfire Convos, and I'm glad it did, because it's not that I forgot, but I kind of forgot low-key about Campfire Convos, because I've been so focused I get hyper-focused on projects when I'm in them. It's like, okay, this is all I care about. This is all I know. This is all I see. And that's how I've grown historically, is in spurts. I can go from a novice to an expert in a week or two, because when I tackle a topic, I really tackle it, and I'll deep dive on it for 10, 15 hours a day, and just that's all I'm in. And my retention is really high. So once I read a book, or once I study a thing, like when I was learning the stock market, I watched 128 videos in a row. And my mind is just built that way to take on massive loads of information at a time. And that's how I grow, by leaps and bounds. And that's how I try to stay sharp or whatever. But yeah, so no, I'm balanced. Learning how to be balanced is something I'm still working on. So anyway, yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that I got a chance to talk to y'all and see everyone. I don't know what's next, but I can tell you're gonna see more 99 Club. You're gonna see more of my parkour journey. So my parkour journey, my wealth journey, those are the two biggest things right now. Those are two passions that I have found. Music was always my biggest passion, and that will never die. So eventually I'll be getting back to the music. But parkour and my wealth journey, since I've been an adult, I really haven't had other passions per se than music. But these are they have legitimately become passions for me. And so you will be seeing more parkour. You will be seeing more of the wealth journey. and hopefully I can get this music in here too, and so that we can have a kind of a trifecta going. But yeah, I'm learning, I'm living, I'm growing, and in real time, and I'm happy. I'm happy in my life. I'm happy with the way things are shaping up. My relationship with my wife is getting stronger. My relationship with my kids are getting stronger, and yeah, it's a beautiful time. Everything is not uh, perfect. You know, we've been victims of identity theft. We still got a lot of debt that we're working out of. Um, but once we get out of this debt, we're never looking back because we're putting some things in place with our finances, and our wealth mindset has shifted. And so the principles that we're enacting right now are principles that are going to build the foundation, that are building the foundation that the rest of our life will be built on. And so it's only up from here. So stay tuned. I love you guys. I hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, if you need anything, y'all can contact me. If you just need someone to talk to, feel free to contact me. My DMs are open. Um, respectfully, obviously, but I'm here. I don't know how I can affect people, but I know that I'm a very positive person. I carry a lot of positive energy, and sometimes you just need positive energy in your life. And so if you need somebody to put a positive spin on something you're going through, that's my forte. I can put a positive spin on anything. I can see the silver lining in anything. And I think that's my superpower. I'm more than happy to share it. So feel free to hit me up. And yeah, appreciate all of you guys for following, for the love and support. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next Campfire Convos. All right, y'all. Love you. Peace and love. Later.